on them. So you see here, this is like, so this one actually has like really good range, because it's a little bit higher price. So if you're gonna trade, small cap or something like this, a big piece of excrement, better to do it around the ones that are like in this price range. You'll get a little bit better, range, but not anything. I'm not that keen on either of those. Morning, guys. Let's take a look at just the overall market here real quick. We may have a little bit of a rest day in the market. We had 3 giant up days. We've got a bottoming pattern forming here at this 260 mark. We've remounted all 3 major short-term and intermediate moving averages, which is very bullish. On top of that, the price action that we have been seeing in the market, even before these 3 days, around here, has been also very bullish. When I say price action, what I mean is like, how are stocks acting? How are stocks acting that are like the leading stocks, right? Your high beta stocks, your high growth stocks, those are the leading stocks. How are they acting? That gives you an inclination of what the price action in the market has been doing. And even while the market was, digesting here for the last month, right? Leading stocks like Peloton and ZM have been just going through the roof. So that's giving you a clue in terms of short-term price action of the market. Now we've remounted all these MAs. We may have a rest day because we're already starting to get a little bit overbought. We may have a rest day and kind of marinate around this area. If we do, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Like if we get a couple flat days in the market, that will actually be very bullish. It'll actually be very bullish, because that's going to allow us to have reset some charts as you're starting to see like a lot of this stuff like ZM is getting tired, right? They're getting tired. They need time to digest, to marinate, to build up some steam to keep going. But overall, there's more than enough kind of other stocks that are going. So let's just talk about what's happening on the gap list. This NOVS looks like it's a SPAC. Novus Capital to merge with App Harvest. SPACs have been hot. It's already up 25%. I don't know who's behind this one, but you already got 3 million shares in volume. There's a chance that this one's going to have a chance for us to get going. Sohu agrees for takeover by Tencent, so that's a buyout. There's nothing we can really do on that. Coal stocks, no good. Big Lots forecast Q3 2020 EPS of 50 cents. Woo! Watch this BYD right now, guys. This thing is red hot. Hold on, before I get back into Big Lots, check out this BYD. If this thing breaks over this level here, so you got a big resistance spot, go to like a 15-minute chart or 30-minute chart. If it busts over this, we may have to play this even before the market opens. Sick. Jason, did you hit it? Oh, fuck. Why didn't you say something, Jason? Good. So this thing is red hot. If it gets over that level, it's going to be bajonkers. Now, hopefully it waits. You guys should say something. Like, good Lord. You just let me talk to myself this whole time? Whether you did or not doesn't matter. You got to directly message me. Because I ain't seen that. I'm in my group. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. Now, let's go back to the Bigs. So you missed all my good fun stuff. Bigs looks like they're pre-announcing earnings. Says expects to. Frankly, I would add this to the list. It's a retail stock, so it's not going to be that hot, but I'd add it. I'd add it. Chuma de. Add Big to the list. Not a priority because it's retail, but it is got a really nice chart on it. I think we'll have a chance on that bad boy. FLDM junk. SRNE gapping up 6%. It's got some kind of news out. Sorrento Therapeutic reports positive results of drugs used to reduce osteoarthritis, knee pain. Two things on this stock. Number one, it's a turd. It's always been a turd. It's a pump and dunk stock. It doesn't mean it can't go, but this is a you know that until we like to listen to little Indian music in the morning. Man, I don't know about this. What do you think? I think I pass. GP, anal section, big T research, green power motor at 25 by... You know what? This one's actually kind of interesting because after it came out of its, it's probably a SPAC. This thing was sitting at like $2. It ran up to $24. Now you've had a pretty orderly pullback. The volume has been heavy on the sell side, but you've had a pretty orderly pullback at least the last like 5, 6, 7 days. It's been marinating hard. I think you could party with this one. I think you could party with this one if it can hold here. The question is, like, how does it act around that 9 EMA? And is it sloping down too hard? Like, if it goes sideways for a couple days and evens out, you'll probably get a little bit better. I think you're going to get a little bit better entry on this. I've been staring at this one for a while. I got on a longer term list. I don't know if it's ready right now because it's still trading thin. Probably something to keep an eye on over the next, I'd put it on a list for the next few days. But I don't think it's immediate yet. It still needs just a little bit of evening out, and it's going to be good to go. Shill dumped hard yesterday after its gap into resistance. You can see it filled back the whole gap, and it tossed out a little bit at the open. I think we put this in, I think we put this on the list. The merger between, whoever owns this SPAC, Turtis, and the actual company has been going. It's not going to be an easy trade. I did this today. Let's see how this thing acts anywhere between 47 and 50. If you start to see it just build and marinate, I think then we'll have ourselves a little bit of a chance. It's gotten sloppy here. In general, it's a strong chart. But if you notice right here, when the patterns get sloppy, like when a stock gets truly sloppy, it becomes very difficult to trade. As a pattern widens, so like when you have a pattern that's tight, see how it's really tight here and tight here? When you have a pattern that's really tight and you got your MAs and everything kind of sloping up, what you get is a much more orderly play. What'll happen is when you have tight patterns, the patterns that you actually play when you're trading them intraday, they work every time. But what happens is as the ranges get loose, then the success of the intraday patterns that you see will be 50-50 at best, because you're going to get shakeouts. Like yesterday, right? It looked like it was going to ORB here, and then it just dumps off. When the patterns get loose, then you start to get more fades and different things of that nature. So I got this on my watch list, but it is not a priority for me, just due to the fact that it's already acting a little bit heeky-jeeky. A lot of people have been asking, is the debate going to have any impact on the markets? No, it won't. Most likely. No, it won't. You may see some things that are said in the debate, like maybe if, Biden's coming in saying hey, I'm going to do something for green energy or the environment or something. You will maybe see some solar stocks go, things of that nature. So you may see individual things. If somebody says in the debate, hey, I'm going to tax all healthcare companies to pay for XYZ, then that specific type of company can move. But in general, will they move the whole market? No. Right, let's see what else we got over here. So we got nose, BYD, big. Dun, 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 dun. On the downside, PLL, this was probably a pump and dump. MYOV, junk. Junk. XSM, no volume. Hold on here. I don't think any of those are that hot. Let's talk about the general watch list. Thank you, ABK. LVGL. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests of resistance. You got a nice kind of consolidation day yesterday where it pulled back $6, give it a little bit of room. I think that this one, as long as it can hold above 135, should kind of make its way back into the 142. This is going to be top of the list. Oh, yeah. You can play an offshoot of that as TDOC. It's a little bit more sloppy, but it tends to have a little bit better range. They're merging into the same company, so you can put either or on them. Roku held its 9 EMA yesterday. I think this one's gearing up for a run. Like you have here on the weekly chart, essentially a cup and handle starting to set up here. As you hold over this old breakout spot, any kind of marination over this 175 is going to start to let it build up some steam to really, really get going. I like the overall look of this one a lot. Crowd. You know what? This thing was a big turn yesterday. It was maybe a little bit loose going into the trend line. Having that rest day is actually going to allow this thing to tighten up a little bit. It may need one more day to just kind of push into that 140, but you're starting to build into that. If it breaks out over this trend line, it's going to get going. If you look at a 15-minute chart, you've got yourself a nice, easy. You got yourself 1 test, 2 tests, one about 141. It's going back a little bit away. So you see how the range, this is a 15-minute chart here. See how the range is starting to really tighten up. So you got a wide range, and then it's getting tighter and tighter. These are all right. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Now you're starting to really fill this out. So once you start to fill out that range, right, and you're going to ping pong around back and forth. But as you start to test the top of the range, when it finally goes, it'll go. And the day it goes, it'll probably rip like 10 points, like right out of the gate in the first hour, make everybody chase it, and then it'll sit around the rest of the day. That's what it likes to do. It'll be pretty good. D-Dog. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, right into this resistance spot too. You're right at a sweet spot here. It was trying to peak out yesterday a little bit. You see here, this is an hourly chart. You got yourself a really nice level that's starting to develop here. Keep an eye on that. I would say about 94, 94.50. Yesterday's high is going to be key. This is TC 2000, Ahmed. This is it costs like $40 a month. It's probably the most bang for the buck in terms of just charting softwares. I only use it for charting. I'm not trading on there. It's a charting platform, but it's pretty cool. You can do different layouts. So you can have different layouts. You can build scans for anything. So it's kind of cool. So you can have all different layouts. You can drag them all to different monitors and stuff. And yeah, for the price, it's probably the best. Chuma, chuma, day, day. This is going to be tricky. Let's keep an eye. If we start to push near yesterday's high, you can see the range on this was pretty sick yesterday. I think that one's going to be good. Couple other ones to watch. Siggy Bear. Siggy Bear's got a lot of short interest in this one. It's only a 50 million share float. If you break out over 19, I'd put an alert. So like when you have a trend line on your TC1000, guys, just right click it, set an alert. And then, you can have it honk or text you or whatever. If it rips out over this trend line, it's going to be ready to go. So that one looks pretty good. This LB, this is probably a swing setup. I like the overall look of this. This one's also got a lot of shorts in it. If it starts to break and hold over 31.75, then you're going to have yourself a nice little look. This one, SPWR, may need another day. We've been trading run and some of all this junk the last a few days anyways. This one is from Andrew. I put this on list for you. If this thing rips 12:30, it's going to be good to go. It may need another day to tighten up here. You know, I would say like one more day should get it going, but sometimes they just don't wait. Solar stocks have been hot. You know, this run has been a market leader for really this whole run since April. It's up 10x this year. I think at some point, SPWR is a big term, but at some point this thing is going to rip over this level and start to go. You know, CSIQ looks like it needs a couple days to pull back here. But I think this one's got an imminent breakout on it too. 35, it should start to push over. So SIG, SPWR, new additions to the list. OSTK, we've been staring at this thing forever. 80. But I think our big focus today is going to be on BYND. If this thing rips over 62.40, we shred this thing. We shred this thing. And yeah, we trade SPACs and stuff every day, so you want to keep all the EV companies on your watch list. So keep Workhorse on. It's down about 49 cents. We'll watch this for a red to green today. Keep that. If it gets over yesterday's close, we're buyers in it. Donkey Kong is a daily trader for us at this point. It's got a flat open. If it pushes right off at the open and breaks 58.40, I'm in on this bad boy. And then Penn is a daily trader too. Yeah, I think probably we got a breakout coming on this one. It needs maybe one more day to just push around, but we can still hit it on dips, I think, till it starts to marinate. The rest of this stuff I'd leave alone. You know, LV, so focus list, remember. Roku, LVGO, Penn, Donkey Kong, Siggy Bear, SPWR. We got this NOVs as a SPAC, BYND only over 62.50, and then odd lots, big lots. Anything else? Probably leave alone. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. What do you guys think? Yeah, I do like snow also. The big thing with snow is going to be like, how does it react around over that 250 mark? Don't push on snow till it pulls back a little bit because there's a big spread on it. Cool. And let's just, you know how we got to do it today. We'll take it slow and steady. Take it slow and steady today at the open. I would say the last 2 weeks, that first hour of the market's been really tricky, and then it's kind of evened out and given us the trends that we need. So just be mindful in that first 30 minutes or so, unless you get a picture perfect setup, don't go in full size. Always rate your plays, right? Like a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And then you can size your plays accordingly. Like, how do you trade XYZ type of stock, XYZ type of setup? Good. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. AMD looks all right. These are all they all just go with the market. These are very slow stocks, but they look okay. I wouldn't say any of them are hot. I would say they're just stocks. All right. Let's go do what we do, guys, which is the do.